fridge am I going to review this? Is it even possible? Oh, hey guys. You know, I'm going to be very honest here. When I pretty much renovated my Patreon page and I opened up a new part of the reward system where if you pledge $100 a month, I would review anything you want along with plenty of other rewards. I am no longer limited to just animated films at that point. You name it, I'll review it, no matter what. So with that, the first awesome dude who actually did that pledge was Simon Howells. And what he suggested to me, I was honestly just not ready for it at all. So, with all that said, does this count as the first ever review of a top list?
Yes, for this review, I'm going to be heading into the UK, where Channel 4 would make a series of specials titled 100 Greatest. Often hosted by British stars like Stephen Fry, Bob Hopkins, Graham Norton, and more, these 3 to 4 hour specials would count down some of the greatest moments on TV, movies, and entertainment in general. The lists would be voted by the public, who would go to the Channel 4 website, but there are some that the results are examined by their experts.
And so, on February 27th, 2005, they decided to go into the field of animation and ask British audiences what is the best of the best in the industry with their 100 greatest cartoons. And, for the most part, it is actually presented very well.
The one credit I will give to Channel 4 on this is that they definitely handled the list like it's a major event. Not only bringing in British animators, filmmakers, and comedians to talk about each cartoon, but they even got plenty of recognizable American names, including directors, film critics, animators, historians, and legends. All there to talk about the highlights of these cartoons and crack some jokes to level up the entertainment value. That, and it really has a strong opening, preparing you for what's to come and the crazy antics of what you can expect from the list.
Unfortunately, that's where the praise would end. Sure, it is dressed up very nice, but when you look into the list and how it was handled, holy crap, what a wacky mess it was! Oh my god, where the fridge do I even begin?
Well, for starters, the way that they looked into each number was just very inconsistent. Now, when they take the time to explain why that cartoon got on the list and a few facts about it, it's really good. But then there were times when they would spend minutes discussing different aspects of one tune, then they would just slightly glance at another for seconds. That, and some of them would surprisingly get bashed by the comedians who are just making fun of them. It's like they're saying that tunes like Woody Woodpecker, Yogi Bear, Winnie the Pooh, and Pepe Le Pew are on the list because they're stupid.
The frustration. Why isn't the bear being more violent and hurting people?
They messed around with what is quintessentially English story, gave them horrible, cute American accents.
You could hear him coming miles away and you just go, oh no, here he comes, I can hear him. Quick, get out of here, we don't need you.
And more importantly, why hasn't the ranger just taken the gun that he has and killed him?
There was even at one point that they were poking fun at the Dungeons & Dragons animated series, yet it somehow got up to number 29 over tunes like Daffy Duck, Beauty and the Beast, and Mickey Mouse. You know, instead of making fun of that show, can we discuss how the fridge is it possible that it managed to get over one of the most iconic cartoon stars of all time? Anyways, there are also moments from time to time that it would bring up some text that would discuss some interesting facts about the cartoon in subject. It's a great thing to have these facts up, but we're so focused on listening to what the experts are saying and the clips they're showing that they are very easy to miss. I don't know why they couldn't have host Jimmy Carr to be more useful and say the facts for us instead of making weird jokes in between the commercials.
In the legal world, for example, there is now a Scooby-Doo defense, famously used by Michael Jackson, who said, "I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids."
Oh, I get it. Okay, Michael Jackson peddling okay, I get it. That is awkward. But if I have to go and pinpoint to the biggest problem with this, it has to be the list itself. Now, I'm not going to go and take a look at the list and look individually at what cartoon goes where. So, if you guys want to see the list for yourself and like you want to go spot like where which cartoon is placed at what number, then I put in a link in the description so you can go check that out. But with that said, I will ask you this. Can you guys tell me what is the problem with a top list that consists of The Lion King, Bugs Bunny, Futurama, and Pokemon? Isn't it obvious?
For a list that's about the 100 greatest cartoons, I honestly never expected that it would include literally anything that's animated. Not just cartoons like the Looney Tunes, but also TV shows like The Simpsons, animated features like Spirited Away, anime like Pokemon, even completely oddball ones like the animated segments from Monty Python's Flying Circus, Aardman Animations, and Legend of the Overfiend?
For those of you who don't know what the last one is, I might as well say it. It's a hentai. Clearly, there are no limits to what can be on this list.
This is something that's just impossible to do, because you can't just compare a movie to a TV show. They're both completely different things, and the way they impact their own field are entirely different. The way that the Iron Giant influenced people is not the same as how South Park did, or how Donald Duck did. They're individually incomparable. It would be like seeing a list of the best comedies and mix in movies, TV shows, individual skits, and YouTube videos. It just doesn't make sense. Also, considering that we're talking about Channel 4, there are some cartoons on the list that nobody outside of the UK has ever heard of, making a lot of room in order to fill in shows like Jamie and the Magic Torch, Charlie Says, Will-O-the-Wisp, and Captain Pugwash.
Because of this, I decided to make my own list of some of the cartoons that they've forgotten to put on the 100 greatest cartoons. Now, these tunes here, they are the ones that you would normally go and find on the list of like best cartoons or best TV shows or best feature films or any of that stuff, and respecting the release date, they were all released before 2005. So, with that said, the list of rejects from the 100 greatest cartoons include The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, The Castle of Cagliostro, Castle in the Sky, Cinderella, Dexter's Laboratory, any show from the Disney Afternoon, any Dawn Blue film, Dragon Ball Z, Ghost in the Shell, Goofy, Grave of the Fireflies, The Jetsons, Johnny Bravo, My Neighbor Totoro, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Porky Pig, Rocko's Modern Life, Silly Symphonies, Sleeping Beauty, and Yellow Submarine. And keep in mind, guys, this is just some of the ones that I immediately noticed that are not on this list. I can actually make my own list of the 100 greatest cartoons that are not in Channel 4's 100 greatest cartoons.
This is what's wrong with making a list of the best of everything in animation. It ends up leaving out plenty of projects that deserve a spot on the list. Also, by adding everything that's animated, it's inadvertently applying the notion of how animation is a genre than a medium. It's like saying that it doesn't matter if it's either Snow White or Samurai Jack. In the end, they're just cartoons, right? If Channel 4 would have split this list into 3, like 100 greatest for cartoons, animated series, and animated movies, then they would have become more of a legitimate list that animation fans can take seriously. But instead, it became this big mess with some obvious choices and a bit of a British bias. Also, I'm not a fan of the fact that it's the public who votes for the best. It just makes it feel like it's no longer a legit best of list and more of a popularity contest.
But I'm not gonna lie, after sitting through 3 hours of watching all the tunes passing through my eyes, I will say that, yes, the list itself does suck, but the special is actually quite enjoyable.
Funny enough, instead of seeing it as a list of the greatest cartoons, I look at it as a retrospective of the greatest cartoons. A celebration and remembrance of what made us laugh and amaze from some of our favorite characters ever drawn. It even brought us legends and experts teaching us some new things regarding what made them awesome and fun in the first place. It's not a perfect special with a weird host, inconsistent timing on each number, and possibly the most broken and screwed up list on animation you can ever find, but it is a fun reminder of what made animation so great and all the unforgettable tunes it left us. I give this a 6 out of 10. It's not about knowing what's better than the others, it's about knowing what made them fun.
But if you guys really do need a list of what is considered some of the best in animation, well, I don't really know any top list about like the greatest cartoons or the greatest TV shows, but I do highly recommend something for the best of animated feature films. Now, whenever you guys have the time after this review, I highly recommend you guys go and check out Time Out's Top 100 Best Animated Films. Voted by dozens of animators, filmmakers, journalists, film critics, and animation experts, this is possibly the most accurate list of the best animated films you could ever find. And it was actually made not too long ago, with the most recent film on the list being the Lego Movie. How can I stay mad at Channel 4? They brought me so many great memories of cartoons that I've enjoyed in the past. But seriously, who the fridge would ever put a Dungeons & Dragons cartoon over godforsaken Mickey Mouse? It just makes no sense. I mean, who has even ever heard of a Dungeons & Dragons cartoon? Wait, hey! Where the fridge do you think you're going? I didn't cue the credits or anything. You guys will deal with my sass!
Now watch me!
Hey guys, this is AniMat. I just want to give major thanks to Simon for his amazing support on Patreon that allowed him to get this review of the disorganized yet nostalgic trip of Channel 4's 100 Greatest Cartoons. If you guys would like to be like Simon and support my work while also getting tons of awesome rewards like this, then all you have to do is go to patreon.com/animat. Until then, see you later, dudes!
People that would vote for this, I wouldn't necessarily trust to run a playgroup.